Yeah. काय रे? Okay. So yes, can you able to see me? Okay, can you able to hear me properly? So we can start the chapter nutrition in animals. So we can discuss line to line. NCRT line to line we are doing discussion. So here in chapter second they are saying first paragraph, you have learnt in chapter 1 that plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, but animal cannot. Animals get their food from the plants either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating the animals that eat plants. Some animals eat both plants and animals. Recall that organisms, including humans, required food for growth, repair, and functioning of the body. Animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. Okay, so in the last chapter, that is nutrition in plants, so there we discussed the concept autotroph, heterotroph, parasites, host plants, and all. So we know that autotrophs, all the green plants or the plants which are preparing their own food by the process of photosynthesis, that are known as what? The autotrophs. Means they are having ability to make their own food by using light, that is sunlight, water, carbon dioxide. Okay, and they are synthesizing, they are converting solar energy into chemical energy, and they are making the food by their own. Okay, that are known as autotrophs. And after that we learn the heterotrophs, those animals or organisms consuming this food, means they are not able to prepare by their own food. Okay, they are not able to prepare by their own food, they are known as what? Heterotrophs. That means they are depends on someone for the food. Okay, so they don't have ability to make the food by themselves, that are known as heterotrophs. And autotrophs means they are making their own food. Okay, this we learned. Even we learned in even 6th standard, even in 5th standard also we have, there is a different consumers are there. Means those who are green plants, they are known as what? The producers. Okay, they are known as what? Producers, because they can generate the food, and that food is consuming the other organisms. Means even we all, human and animals, they are consuming that uh, producers, correct? So those animals, means we have total three types of categories, that is herbivorous, omnivorous, and carnivorous. Okay, these three types of animals we discussed in the earlier stage. So there is Herbivorous means those organisms or animals they are consuming only green leaves. Okay, they are known as herbivorous. They are only eating green leaves. Okay, they are not consuming any flesh, meat. Okay, any product produced by the animals. Then omnivorous means what? Those organisms are eating both, means they are eating flesh as well as green things. Okay, so they are eating, there comes under omnivorous. And carnivorous are those animals or organisms they consumes only flesh and meat. Okay, in that category lion, then tiger, they all will come into the uh, carnivorous category. Omnivorous, human beings and some animals comes under the carnivore in the omnivorous category. And in case of herbivorous like deer, okay, rabbit, these all are what comes under, even cows are comes under the herbivorous animals. And producers are nothing but what? The plants itself, they are producing a food for themselves and even for other organisms for the survival. So producers, and then after that consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers, like that we have the categories. And based on this what kind of foods they are consuming, depending on that we have a three types of organism: herbivorous and carnivorous and omnivorous. Herbivorous, they are only eating plants or green leaves. Carnivorous, they are only eating flesh and meat. And omnivorous, they are consuming both green and the green leaves as well as meat and flesh. Okay, so even human body and some other organisms or animals require specific nutrient. Okay, we, body is growing. Okay, the requirement of the body is also what? Changing. So normally we require, doctors are advising to take a balanced diet. Okay, that balanced diet means what? That should contain protein, carbohydrates, fats, okay, and vitamins, mineral. That every should can combine. Okay, then only we can say that that is a balanced diet. And all these nutrients are what required to the body for the growth. Okay, so once we consume, then utilization of these all the nutrients is also very important. Can you getting up to here? This is the meaning of the first paragraph. Okay, now here they gave, you have studied in last class, the food consists of many components. Try to recall the list given below. So food is consist of what? Different components. No, if we take a rice, then to rice, to boil that we require water. We are adding salt into it. Okay, and even we need a flame also to cook that. Okay, if I want to potato sabji, then I need potato. Okay, then I need some oil, some masalas, some red chilies, onion. Many things are there we require. Okay, so the components of a food such as carbohydrates, complex substances, and these complex substances cannot be utilized as such. Underline this statement. uh, what they are saying, the components of a food such as carbohydrates are complex substances. Carbohydrates are what? Complex substances. Carbohydrates we are generally find in potato and in rice. We can observe the carbohydrate content is more, because they are both are giving more energy nutrient. Okay, so they are providing more energy. Carbohydrates are providing more energies. Okay, so here these complex substances can be utilized as such. So they are broken down into simpler substances. Okay, the breakdown of a complex components of a food into simpler substances is called as a digestion. Underline this statement. Here what we can say, that complex substances are converted into a simpler one is called as what? Is known as the digestion. Conversion of what is your question? So here, digestion. So digestion is nothing but what complex molecules are converted into a simpler molecules, or that is known as a digestion. Okay, digestion means what? Suppose I'm eating some food. So whenever we are chewing that food, okay, then saliva generates, and that saliva is also get mixed with that food. The food is what get moistened, and then that is going through the esophagus, and the peristaltic movements are occur, that we have to discuss everything. Then after that peristaltic movement, then food is what entered into the stomach, and then started, then there is what starting of the digestion. So there is what digestion started. Digestion means complex substances are converted into a simpler one, are called as a digestion. Underline that statement. Okay, so here next point is given, different ways to taking food. Okay, so even we are getting food in two different sources, one is plant and another is animal. Okay, from plants we are getting all the leafy vegetable, all the vegetables, fruits we are getting from the plant. But flesh, meat, or egg, milk, some dairy products which we are getting, that all are getting from the animals itself. Okay, so now here we have different ways of taking food. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. Bees and hummingbirds suck the nectar of plants. Infants of a human and many other animals feed on the mother's milk. Snake, like a python, swallow the animals they prey upon. Some aquatic animals filter tiny food particles floating nearby and they feed upon them. Okay, so here different ways of taking food. Okay, normally small kids are there, babies are there. Okay, they are what feeding on the mother's milk, and even hummingbird and the honeybees are there, they are sucking the nectar for the as a food. Even the some snakes and all, they can catch their prey, means they swallow the prey. Even the cows and all, they are also consuming the that curd and all, and that process, they are taking curd in a small period of time, and once they relax, they are taking that curd out and they are chewing. That process is known as what curd chewing process. So here different ways are there, different animals are having different ways of food intake. Okay, so this is the ways of food. So here they gave an activity. Okay, that they are asking what is the name of the animal, kind of a food, and mode of feeding. Okay, so here butterflies are there, they are sucking nectar, and house flies are there, eagles are there, ant is there, snail is there. Okay, then here even leaves are there, the leaves are what sucking the blood. Okay, mosquitoes are there, they are what they are doing. Sorry. Okay, so here different animals are there, they can they can show scraping, chewing, then capturing, swallowing, sponging, sucking, everything, because ant, eagle and all, they are what, they are capturing their food and then they are taking. Okay, some animals are tearing the food and then they are consuming. Okay, different animals are having what, different modes of feeding. Understood? So here they gave one amazing fact in the science textbook. The example, that is starfish. Starfish feeds on animals covered by hard shells of calcium carbonate. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out its stomach and through its mouth it to eat the soft animals inside the shell. The stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly what digested. Very important. Okay, there is a example of starfish. See, if you have the textbook, then at the blue color column they gave amazing fact. Starfish is having what, a starfish feeds on the animal covered by the hard shell of calcium carbonate. Okay, if you take that, there is a hard covering coating is there, that is known as a calcium carbonate, and after opening this shell, starfish pops out the stomach. Whenever this outer coating is what opened, there the starfish pops out its stomach through the mouth, and it takes the soft animals which are present near to it, and they are keeping inside the shell, and then stomach going into the shell, and then again that shell is covered on the body, and afterwards slowly these soft animals are get digested in the stomach of the starfish. Can you getting up to here? You can read up to here. If you have any doubt, then that we can do. Then table 2.1 also I will ask you to write now. Read it. If you have any doubt, you can type a message. Yes, anyone is having a doubt? Okay, so if you check your textbook, that is activity 2.1. Okay, name of the animal, kind of a food and mode of feeding. So if you have a textbook, you can, I will take the name of the animal one by one, and what kind of food they are consuming, and what is the mode of feeding, that also I will explain you. So first example they give their snail. Okay, it's not snake, it's a snail. Snail mostly take lettuce, crops and leaves they are consuming, and they are simply scrapping this. Okay, they are what, by the process of the mode of feeding is scrapping. Okay, and slowly they are what, taking that food. Okay, so kind of food you can write down: leaves, comma, lettuce and crops, etc. Leaves, lettuce, crops, and the mode of nutrition is scrapping. Okay, then after that, ant is there. Write down ant. Ant is what, insect, and even they are consuming plants. Insect and plants. The mode of feeding is nothing but chewing. Mode of feeding is chewing. Eagle, they can capture mammals also, means they can eat mammals as well as birds. Okay, kind of food, mammals and birds, and mode of feeding is capturing or swallowing. Capturing or swallowing. Capturing or swallowing. Next, hummingbird. Hummingbird, nectar and sucking. The food they are consuming nectar, and mode of feeding is sucking. Okay, next line. Lice suck the blood. Okay, blood and sucking. Hummingbird is also, they are sucking nectar. Mode of feeding is sucking, and even leaves they are sucking blood, and the mode of feeding is also sucking. Okay, mosquitoes also suck the blood, and mode of feeding is also blood. Mode of feeding is sucking. Butterfly, they are what, sucking, they are taking nectar, but they are not sucking, they are symphoning. Okay, symphoning. Okay, symphoning. Housefly, they consume all kind of food, even fecal matter also. Okay, and they are also doing symphoning. Okay, so I hope everyone understood up to here. I finished first page, and I'm starting the second page. Already I discussed the amazing fact about the starfish outer body is made up of calcium carbonate, that is a hard body. Then people are thinking how it can take a nutrition, or how the food it will consume. So there is a, once that hard covering shell is there, sometimes it opens and starfish take its stomach out through the mouth, and it capture the soft insects which are present near to it, and then the stomach will go inside, and then again that shells are closed, and slowly whatever the consumed food is there, that is what started digesting. That is the amazing fact of the starfish. Understood up to here? Now here the next part is there, that is digestion in humans. We take in food through the mouth, digest and utilize it. The unused parts of the food are detected. Uh, defected. Have you ever wondered what happens to the food inside the body? The food passes through the continuous canal which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. The canal can be divided into various compartments. First, buccal cavity, then that I don't know. I have to check and I will let you know. Buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus. That food pipe is also known as a esophagus, and stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and ending in a rectum, and last is anus, and it is not a very long path. So these parts together form a alimentary canal, that is the digestive tract. Okay, so the food components gradually get digested as the food travels through the various compartments in the inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine. Okay, and various glands associated with the canal such as salivary glands, liver and pancreas secrete digestive juices. So now we can discuss the human digestive system. Okay, so normally whenever we are hungry, we are consuming food. Okay, and the food which we are consuming from the consuming, and that we are chewing with the help of our teeth. Okay, then this mouth to this end portion is known as a buccal cavity. If you have a textbook with you, check that buccal cavity. Okay, so whenever we are consuming food, that through buccal cavity, that is going through the esophagus, from esophagus to stomach, stomach to small intestine, and small intestine to large intestine, and then unwanted food is what, digested food, unwanted the food or the remaining part is what, getting excreted through the anus. So this entire system is known as what, alimentary canal. Okay, so what do you mean by alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is a system, or it is a canal in with where it includes the buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, large intestine, small intestine, then there is a rectum and anus. Okay, so whatever the food we are consuming, that is, just now I told you, that is get um, uh, added with the saliva. Okay, that we have to discuss it now deeply. So alimentary canal, can you understood what do you mean by alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is a canal which consists of what? The buccal cavity, esophagus, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and then the anus. This whole system is known as what? The alimentary canal. If you have a textbook, you can check the diagram. Okay, so if I consume food, mean that cannot be digested immediately, it takes some time. Slowly the food is what? Getting digested. Okay, so what I have to repeat? What should I repeat? The alimentary canal is a canal which consists of buccal cavity, then esophagus, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Okay, this entire system is known as a alimentary canal. The food which we are consuming, that cannot be digested immediately. Okay, it requires some time, and slowly small amount of food is what started digesting. Once it digested, then it provides the energy to the entire body. Okay, so food is digested, or food travels through the various compartments and the inner wall of the stomach and small intestine, the various glands associated with canal, such as salivary glands, liver and pancreas secrete the digestive juices. Very important. So normally whenever we are taking the food and we are started chewing, even sometimes if we see the food, our favorite food is come in front of our eyes, then our mouth is what gets watery. That means what? How it is get watery? That means saliva is started secreting. Okay, how the saliva is started secreting? There is a salivary glands are present in the mouth. Okay, and that saliva is get mixed with the food, then that food is what get moistened. Okay, and once that once that water is gets added with that food, then food will become soft, and that soft food is very easily passing through the esophagus or food pipe. Whenever the food is going through the esophagus, there we can observe the peristaltic movement. So as the food is going down, then that portion is what getting expanded, and the previous part is what get contracted. Again, when it is going to the next, as it is moving slowly, wherever it is moving, that part is what started expanding, and previous part is what started contracting. That movement is known as what? Contraction and relaxation. That process is known as what? The peristaltic movement. Salivary glands are present in the mouth, they are secreting the saliva, and that saliva is gets added with the food which we are chewing, and because of the saliva, the food will become what? Moistened, and that food is what? Gets soft, and that soft food can easily pass through the esophagus. Can you understood up to here? Do you have any point problem? So everyone can underline this statement. The inner wall of the stomach and the small intestine and the various glands associated with the canal, such as salivary glands, liver and pancreas, secretes the digestive juices. Okay, pancreatic juices are there, so you can underline the liver and the pancreas secrete the digestive juices. They will ask in exam, who will secrete the digestive juices? Pancreas and liver. Okay, so that is the digestive system or digestive juices converts complex substances into simpler one. Obviously, Okay, so whenever we are chewing the food, saliva is get mixed with that. Once it is enter into the stomach, then there is what the these digestive juices. These digestive juices are what started converting the complex substances into a simpler ones. Okay, and the digestive tract are associated glands together constitute the digestive system. Okay, so whenever the digestive tract is there, that is associated with the different glands together, and the different glands are combined, means combined together to form the digestive system. Okay, only we can't say that stomach is only digestive system, no. So the stomach, that getting means different juices or different systems are attached to that system, and that entire system is known as what here, digestive system. The digestive tract and associated glands, they can combine to form the digestive system. Okay, so because digestive system we require different digestive juices, bile juices we require, then pancreatic juices we required, then different digestive juices are also secreted by the liver, even pancreatic juices are generated by the pancreas. Okay, and because of this the food is what, complex food is converted into a simpler one, and this different juices or glands combine together to the stomach to form what, the digestive system. Can you getting up to here? Okay, so now we have to discuss about the different parts of the digestive tract. Okay, we have to discuss about the different digestive tract. Just check up to here. If you have a doubt, you can ask me. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, but please send the valid question. Don't, if you are not hopeless, no need to type anything over there. Okay, if you understood, okay. If you are not getting, at least you can type a question. I will try to clarify your doubts, but don't ask hopeless and invalid questions. Yes, check. If you have anything, then ask me. Okay, I hope no one is having doubt. Okay, so okay, you are interested in that. Okay, the star fish reproduce sexually through the process of spawning. Okay, where they releases the egg and sperm into water for a fertilization. How the frogs are leaving the eggs. Okay, like that, these are also what, releasing the eggs and sperm into water for fertilization. And some starfish species also reproduce asexually. Okay, means only one gamete is present in that, and through fragmentation or autonomy, the part of a starfish including a central disc or arm detaches from the main starfish or a mother starfish, and there is a generation of what, a new starfish. Means starfish can reproduce sexually as well as asexually. Now don't ask me the question asexual and sexual reproduction, that we have in the next year, not now. Understood? Finish your problem. How does starfish reproduce? Now देखो, before starting of the mouth and buccal cavity, you can check the diagram which is present on the page number 12. Observe the diagram carefully and you can start it from its buccal cavity. So in buccal cavity also 4 parts are there. That details we don't have, but buccal cavity contains 4 different parts. Then there is a salivary glands are present in the mouth. They secretes the saliva. Okay. Then after that there is a long tube is there. That long tube is known as a esophagus, and at the top of the esophagus or above the trachea there is one flap is there. That flap is opening and closing, that is known as a epiglottis. That also we have to discuss it later. So after that there is a liver, then stomach is there, then gallbladder is there near to the liver. Then after that there is a pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, then rectum, and they have the last end, that is anus. Okay. So this is nothing but what? The alimentary canal. This all combines these different buccal cavity, salivary gland, esophagus, liver, stomach, means stomach, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine. If we combine all these things, then only we can say that this is a alimentary canal. Okay. So now we have to discuss about the mouth and buccal cavity. So food is taken into the body through the mouth. Underline this. Okay. The process of taking food into the body is called as a ingestion. Okay. Ingestion is nothing but what? Just taking the food. Underline this statement also. Ingestion of the food is nothing but what? Taking the food through the mouth through into our body is called as a ingestion. We check the food with the teeth and we chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into a small pieces. Each tooth is rooted in a separate socket in the gums. Our teeth vary in appearance and perform different functions accordingly. They are given a different names. Okay. So there is one part, that is blue part. Interesting fact is given: milk teeth and permanent teeth. Okay. So that I will read it out. Do you remember about falling of your teeth some years ago? The first set of teeth grows during the infancy and they fall off at the age between 6 to 8 years. These are termed milk teeth, and the second set that replaces them are the permanent teeth. The permanent teeth may last throughout the life or fall off during old age or due to some dental diseases. Okay, milk teeth are nothing but what? The milk teeth means after 6 months the teeth are coming. Okay, that are milk teeth, and they can fall in between 6 to 8 years. Okay, and again from afterwards the new teeth will come. That new teeth are known as what? Permanent teeth. Okay, so this we discussed, and we have molars, premolars. Okay, then canine, incisor, these different types of teeth we have. Okay, total 32 teeth we have. In they are present in two pairs, 16 down and 16 up. So very at the low back side of the jaw means there is what? We have a molar. They are basically used for grinding purpose. Then premolars are there. Then after that here canines are there, and these are the incisor. Okay, these are incisor, and these horny teeth are nothing but what? Canines, that basically used for tearing the substances or food. And then after that we have a premolar, and then we have a molar. So molar, premolar are basically used for grinding of the food. Okay, to making into small part. Okay, the food which we are consuming through our mouth is called as what? Ingestion. Okay, so we have a 4 types of teeth. Okay, that is incisor, canines, molars, and premolars are there. Then total 2 pairs are there, which is each pair is of 16. So total 32 teeth we have. and there is two different types of teeth are there, permanent and milk. Permanent are come after 6 years, and whatever the teeth which we got it from the 6 month, okay, they may be fall in between 6 to 10 years, that are nothing but milk teeth. Okay, they are not permanent. But once permanent teeth will come, okay, from the soft pink gum, okay, they are holding our teeth. So basically the teeth we are using for piercing as well as tearing purpose. Okay, so basically canines we are using for piercing purpose. Okay, so chewing and grinding the food, so this is a use of teeth. Understood up to here? So there is one activity given: wash your hands, look it look into the mirror and count your teeth. Use your index finger to feel the teeth. How many kinds of teeth could you find? Take the piece of apple and bread and eat it. Which teeth do you use for beating, cutting, and which one of piercing and tearing? And also find out the ones that are used for chewing, grinding purpose. So here table 2.2 is given. I think those who have a textbook, they can open this activity or this table. Check that table. Yes, honey, you can. Wisdom teeth. Shabbas. Wisdom teeth is nothing but what? Wisdom teeth is nothing but what? Wisdom teeth are the last molars, okay, to erupt in the mouth, typically between the age of 17 to 25. Okay, and they are located at the back of each jaw, that are nothing but wisdom teeth. Okay, akkal dad, okay, that is known as what? The wisdom teeth. Understood? I know you have a knowledge. Then what you can do, take that table and type the answers fatafat. Yeah, type that table. What are the answers? Yes, check that. What are the teeth which we are using for grinding, then chewing, piercing, that you can check. What is the answer of first? Yes, honey, type fast. Cutting and beating the teeth. Which teeth we are using? Cutting and beating. That is incisors. Write down there. Okay. Check the spellings which are there in the textbook itself. Okay, incisors. And incisors are there in lower jaw 4 and upper jaw also 4 teeth are there. Total 8 teeth are there. Okay, that are the incisors. Then piercing and tearing are there. That is nothing but canines. Okay, canines, and canines are nothing but what? Total upper jaw 2 and lower jaw 2. Total 4 teeth are there. And chewing and grinding teeth are there, that are nothing but molars and premolars, and they are present 10 in each jaw, so that is nothing but 20. Okay, if you want detail, refer class 4 textbook. Okay, there you will get all the different teeth, their functions and their details. Okay, so now here the next page. Our mouth has salivary glands which secretes the saliva. Underline this. Do you know the action of saliva on a food? Let us find out. Okay, so there is one activity given, that is 2.3. Take the two test tubes, label them as A and B. In the test tube A, put 1 tablespoon of rice, boiled rice. In test tube B, keep 1 teaspoonful of boiled rice after chewing it for 3 to 5 minutes, and add 3 to 4 ml of water in both the test tubes. Now pour 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution in each test tube and observe. Why is there a change in color in the test tube? Discuss the result with your classmates and your teacher. The saliva breaks down the starch into sugar. Underline this statement. The saliva breaks down the starch into sugars. Underline this. The tongue is fleshy, muscular organ attached to the back to the floor of the buccal cavity. Underline this statement also. The tongue is fleshy, muscular organ attached at the back to the floor of buccal cavity. The buccal cavity, it is free at the front and can be moved into all directions. Do you know the functions of the tongue? We use our tongue for talking. Besides, it mixes saliva with the food during the chewing and helps in swallowing the food. Underline this statement also. Besides it mixes saliva with food during the chewing and helps swallowing the food. We also taste the food with our tongues, as it has taste buds on the taste buds that detect different taste of food. We can find out position of the taste bud by following the activity. Okay, so there are 2 test tubes are there, test tube A and test tube B. In test tube A, there is only what? Boiled rice is there, and in test tube B, there is a boiled rice, but that boiled rice is what? Chewed one. Okay, and that chewed boiled rice is there in the test tube B. Okay, and after that, what we have to do, if you keep that test, if you add 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution, then what you can observe? They are asking what you can observe. That is the question. Okay, so what is your answer? What will happen when we drop the iodine solution okay, into the boiled rice and on the chewed rice, then what you can observe there? What will, what you can say that the, once we add the iodine solution into the boiled rice, then which the boiled rice without chewing, okay, that color get changes into blue black, okay, when we add the iodine solution. That means it shows that there is a starch present in that food, okay. But the color of the food which is chewed one, which we kept in the test tube B, which contains the boiled rice, but we chewed that and we kept it into the test tube B. If you add iodine drop into that, the color will not be changed. If you observe the textbook carefully, where after adding the iodine drops in the same boiled rice, one is without chewing and one is chewed food, okay. A contains without chewing and B contains with chewed. So with chew there is what, the saliva is get added, so there is a no color change will takes place in test tube B, okay, and only color will change takes place in A, okay, that is turned into blue black solution, okay. Then what this saliva, okay, if saliva is added, that how the color will become colorless, okay. So the boiled rice A respond the iodine test, and the the food which is there in the tube B, that will not be responded to the iodine test, because the saliva can affect the starch. Can you getting, the saliva is what affect the starch, and the starch in the test tube B was broken down into the simpler sugar by mixing saliva by the chewing, okay. But the test tube A contains only boiled rice, that boiled rice contain the starch, as that food is not chewed, no saliva is added, so the color, it gives the positive response to the iodine test. So the color of the test tube A is become blue black, and second will remain as it is. There is a no color change takes place, as the starch from the boiled rice is chewed, and that is what saliva, when get it is mixed with that, then that starch is converted into a sugars. Can you getting up to here? That means the iodine solution does not react with the sugar, okay, and this proves that saliva breaks down the starch into a simple sugars. Can you getting this? Okay, then now okay, so this is the answer. From that you can write down saliva converts the starch into a sugars. Write it down there, note it, so that it will not respond to the iodine test. So it will not be respond to the iodine test, okay. Sweets and tooth decay, okay, sweets and tooth decay. So basically small kids, even elders are also eating, consuming sweet things or chocolates, okay, or even the leftover food will remain present on the teeth. If we are not gargling, that food particles will remain there, and once they will remain there on the teeth, then it started affecting teeth enamel, and there is a generation of cavity. The mouth pH is what started lowering by 5.5, and because of that there is a tooth decay takes place. Okay, the mouth will become what, acidic, because of the because the enamel is what started affecting by this leftover food or this because of the sweets. So once you consume the food, then the gargling is very important. The leftover food can be removed by doing the gargling. Otherwise, if that food will remains there, that is decomposes, and that affects the enamel which is there on the teeth. And when it is started affecting the enamel, then inner pulps are also gets affected. Okay, once the inner pulps are also getting affected, then there is a tooth decay takes place. Understood? So that everything is given on the blue color part, that is a tooth decay. And to avoid this, we are doing a brush every day. The paste which we are consuming, that is what basic in nature to avoid the mouth acidity, or as the cavity is there, that means that lowers the pH and the mouth pH will become acidic, and to nullify the effect we are using a basic paste. Okay, and even once we consume the food, or just by smelling also will comes to know that with the taste of the food. Okay, and here there are different taste buds are there. Okay, so if you observe figure 2.6, there is what taste buds are there, salty, sour, sweet taste buds are present on the tongue. Okay, so yeah, then the activities also provided. Activity 2.4, prepare the separate sample each of first sugar solution, common salt solution, lemon juice, and juice of crushed neem leaf or bitter gourd. B. Blindfold one of your classmates and ask him or her to take out the tongue and keep it in the straight and flat position. Use the clean toothpick to put the above samples one by one on the different areas of the tongue as shown in figure. Use a new toothpick for each sample. Ask the classmate which areas of the tongue could detect the sweet, salty, sour, bitter substances. And now write down the observation and label figure 2.6. Repeat activity with the other classmates. Okay, so here we know that sugar solution sweet in nature, common salt, that is the that salty taste is there. Okay, means we can feel that saltiness. And lemon juice is there, that is sour in taste. Okay, and crushed neem juice is there, that is bitter. That means all four taste buds are present, and whenever the sugar will come, then it can, the sweet taste buds are activated, and that shows that that substance or that solution is what, sugary one. Okay, so like that we can name the different region accordingly. This also we did in class 4, taste buds, different taste buds they gave. Okay, so that is there. So you can do this activity and write down the different test buds which are given in the class 4 textbook. Copy that here, or define the different regions which is provided over here. Okay, understood up to here? Does anyone having any doubts up to here? Yes, does anyone having any doubts? Yes, anyone is having doubt? If you don't have a doubt, I request everyone to read this chapter, whatever the terms which we learned, you can read that. Okay, if possible in the evening again I'll keep a session to continue the remaining chapter. Okay, so try to read all these points and note it down, underline all the important lines which I told you to do this. Okay, so if I have a time in the today evening, I'll try to finish this chapter. Okay, so thank you for joining. Okay, so we can meet it later, okay, to complete the remaining chapter. So once we finish, then we can go for the question answer session also for the same chapter. Okay, so I request everyone read your NCERT textbook line to line. Very important, because nowadays the questions are also asked assertion, reason, MCQ, mostly based on the textbook only. Read the textbook properly and solve the number of questions to get the good marks. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for joining. I will end this session.